This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is September 29th. 2020. This is show number 127. Hard to believe we've gone that far. It's been that many months. Well, Nick, yesterday's market, it's not the stuff that bear markets are made of, is it?
No, it's not. Yesterday, you had quite an advance in the markets. Now, I just want to point out the volume was anemic. So, but that favors upside. When you get that light volume, you get that upside. And yesterday, it was a very, very good rally. The S&P 500 went right back up to its 50-day moving average, and it's sitting just a hair below it at the moment. So again, little retest there of the 50-day moving average. A lot of money managers are waiting to see if it will get above that key level. And today we're getting a little bit of what we call a pause. So after a big 3-day advance last Thursday, Friday, and yesterday being Monday, we had a very, very good run in the S&P 500 and all of the major indexes for that matter. And today we're getting a little bit of a stall. So this is typical. After a 3-day run, you're going to normally see a little bit of backing and filling, but we'll see what we get going forward here. I think right now it's just all about chart pattern.
All right. And right now, chart patterns and the election, right?
And the election, obviously. The election is a big, big headwind. Tonight, as you know, we have the highly anticipated presidential debate between President Trump and Joe Biden. So the markets could be a little bit quiet today as they wait for the debate, as they wait for the debate to happen. But I don't think this debate is really that big of a deal personally. I think that the markets are a little bit over, looking at this a little too hard. I mean, you kind of, most people kind of know where they're leaning left or right, and we'll see how it plays out. And after any debate, you get a lot of spin, and we'll be back to normal trading probably tomorrow or Thursday.
I mean, this is like the Indianapolis 500 debate. People who watch, the Formula, the Indy cars, and they're watching it not to see who wins, but to see when the next big crash is going to be. And that's what people are tuning into this debate for.
That's well said. And I think you're right on the money with that one.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, we don't want to get into the politics of it, but just suffice it to say there's a lot here, more here than meets the eye, but really, it's not really that relevant. If Biden doesn't screw up too badly, it'll be a major victory for him. And if Trump really gets him going and causes him to melt down and test them hard, then they'll be talking about this debate forever. But in the final analysis, I agree with you. I don't think it will have any effect upon the outcome of the election, no matter what happens.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point I was trying to drive home there. But yeah, you're 100% right. Everybody's waiting to see if there's a big car wreck as it goes forward. I mean, I'll be tuning in. So that goes to show you everybody will be watching this. I think this will probably be the most highly watched debate of all time. So we'll see how it plays out. But overall, I don't think it's going to change the outlook or the election itself. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, well, it's either going to be a huge car wreck or a out-of-control dumpster fire, one or the other, but it ain't going to be pretty. There's no way that it can be, but let's save our predictions for tomorrow. We're going to make this a short one because it is going to be a quiet day in all likelihood, but gold and silver up a little bit today, huh?
Yeah, we have gold actually trading up about $10 today on the futures and sitting at around $18.92. So that's not a bad move for gold. And then you have silver futures today up a little bit as well, up about 1.6%. So both metals are acting pretty well right now, and I like everything they're doing. I'm looking to get into metals. I'd love to just see one more leg down. If we could get a little minor leg down, that would set us up nicely. But either way, I'm watching the pattern closely, and right now metals are holding up very, very well.
It looks like that 1850 is big support there because gold went down to 1850 or close to it, and then it bounced back. And
yeah, in fact, that 1850 area is also where the 100-period moving average lies on the daily chart. It's also a 20-period moving average on the weekly chart. So there's definitely a lot of support in that at that level. But what I will say is that your breakout took place at 1800, and very, very often markets love to go back and test their old breakout levels. I don't know why that is, but it's where the institutions got involved. That's where they really supported and showed sponsorship. So I'd love to see us get down to that area. That would really would really be a very, very good level, in my opinion, at 1800. I did my maximum downside just in case things really got bad and we had a really big sell-off. And believe it or not, my level was around 1675. So I was quite surprised to see the calculation giving me a number that low. But if that were to happen, I mean, that would really shake out a lot of people, and that would probably be the ultimate buying opportunity in the metals. I just thought I'd share that ultimate downside level with everybody. I'm not sure if it even gets there, but if it does, I'd be a buyer with both hands.
It would take a lot of things happening at once to make it go down there, but I would never say never, because who would have thought that they'd be giving oil away for free? You
got a fair point. That's a great point you're making. And again, a lot of times the markets will make moves that people don't always expect to happen, and that's where the conviction comes in with somebody. Just like in March when we had the March tumble. I mean, gold sold off because they had to sell those assets just to make margin calls or to cover margin calls. And gold had that big sell-off, but it wound up being probably the best buying opportunity of the year in just about any equity.
Yeah, agreed. I think we'll leave it at that, Nick, since it is a quiet day. Anyways, go take a look at inthemoneystocks.com and see Nick's trading record going back years and years. Twitter feeds are at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Email us with your thoughts and your comments, KL@KerryLutz.com. And Nick, we will pick up tomorrow.
Sounds good, Kerry.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago01.